No clue. This isn't generally one of my favorites, so I don't tend to run too many officials on it. I don't really remember the settings. It's pretty dive bomby. And there's a couple corners where the safe line or correct line is visually deceptive, and when you get it wrong, you wipe half the field, which is not terribly uncommon in lower splits. I've seen more people get taken out exiting the pits from somebody who just completely missed their braking and turn-in point for T2 than I can count, that sort of thing. And of course, the chicanes it's the last one, really. It's kind of a running joke in the Sunday Night Skippy League. Is I generally do not care for tracks that have when the car lands somewhere in the tutorial. That's not a good time for me. That's a little too much luck. Ugh. What's going on, Sven? Oh, interesting. Okay. You take a look. Yeah, just give me a minute here. I'm having some audio issues. This is a RaceToLearn instructional session. I'm going to be going on push to talk. Be quick here. I don't understand why there isn't. It's coming through the right channel.
$56.9.
Okay. All right. Whatever. Should be good now.
I can't remember what was last season's
I don't know why that had to be reset.
times.
Well, I don't know why I went for Pete.
Okay. Okay, we're getting there. I had some power outages last night that I think impacted all of my bindings for everything.
No, did you do Windows Update?
I didn't.
Windows Update knocks out all your USB ports.
No, we had major storms last night with multiple power problems. So.
Okay.
All right. So, before I get started, is there anything in particular that folks would like to cover? General questions.
Hairpin.
Okay.
Yep.
Anything else?
Please.
No, I think that's my main issue on this track at the moment.
Okay, fair enough.
For me, it's the first and the third chicane.
Yeah, we'll definitely cover the corners in general. Just curious if there's anything of particular interest. So let's just go around and see what comes up.
I think the hairpin, Pete, for two reasons. For me, is covering the inside when some brave person is flying in on the right,
sure.
and can I overtake an outside, stuff like that in the hairpin, and just a general good line for it.
Okay.
What's the optimum line? I think that's my issue there. That's where I usually get punted.
Okay, fair enough. So first thing, since we're in the pit lane, I mentioned this a little bit while we were free lapping. T2 is a little bit deceptive, especially for new drivers, because the correct line is you're coming in kind of tight and you stay tight all the way around it, which is unusual, right? I mean, normally in general, if you just say what's the racing line around a corner, someone's going to go, you start on the outside, you hit the apex on the inside, and then you track out to the outside again, right? This one for T2, it's tight all the way around, but people will try to do that, faster, come in from the outside and hug it and go outside and go inside for the apex again. They'll generally miss it, and you're going to have cars that come sliding all the way through this pit lane. Right. So if you find yourself in a scenario where you need to be exiting the pits, you see traffic coming up, watch out. do not expect people to be able to hold on the right side of the pit line here. I've seen many massacres coming in through there. So T1 will cover again as we come around for the lap, but the exit for T1, like I just mentioned, is it's unusual in that normally you're going to go all the way outside, apex all the way on the inside, and then exit all the way to the outside of the track again, right? With Skippies, they're so low power that there's actually no need to track all the way out to extract the maximum performance out of the car. So I keep it as tight as I can all the way around the exit of T2, so long as the tires aren't complaining, right? So long as I'm letting the tires run to their maximum ability, there's no need for me to be all the way out. I might even be this far over sometimes when I'm coming around for T1, because I'm trying to minimize the amount of track that I cover, since it was unnecessary to track all the way out. Okay, so for coming up for T3, the important two things to keep in mind here. The first is both T3 and T4 you can cut really deep without getting off tracks or slowdowns. However, you can upset the car cutting too deep. So what that means is go ahead and play around with this quite a lot, right? And find out exactly what kind of line, exactly how much cut you're comfortable with, and get used to how the car reacts. But it's pretty forgiving as far as penalties and whatnot, right? So as we're going through this, and this will be the same with all of the chicanes here, because pretty much all the chicanes have a long straight after, right? Which means, as a rule of thumb, we're going to be compromising the first corner of the chicane to maximize the exit of the second corner, right? So usually what that means is we're going to exit a little more mid-track or even tighter in order to open up the second corner and be able to get to throttle earlier and stay on throttle. So when I'm coming up here on cold tires, I'm looking at this one marker. I think Wendy is able to do it like directly at the one. I can't make that work. So I'm usually looking at just a little bit before the one marker. I'm going to be gearing down to third for this. It feels like it can be second. And in a way, it can. It's in that gray area. You know, we've talked about that a few times where, you know, you can be in first and second or third, and they're both valid. It can be just a style issue. Do you want more engine braking out of second, or do you want a little bit more stability out of being that higher gear, you know, where the rear end is going to kick out? In this case, when the tires are in, you should be able to be moving fast enough where, you know, second doesn't really make sense because you'll be bouncing off the rev limiter, but you'll be kind of on the bottom of third. So that should give you a really good idea of what speed you should be targeting here. But also, like, don't feel like you have to take it in one gear or the other. Take the one that works best for you. Anyway, I'm generally starting to turn in maybe a car length before that one marker. I'll kind of adjust it throughout the race, you know, depending on how I'm, you know, feeling about how the last time through went. And I'm aiming to cut this quite a lot. So I don't want to go too much more than this, because then the car starts to get upset, but I could without getting a penalty, right? And what I'm looking for here is I want to be able to get straightened out and full throttle as soon as I can, so that I can cut this left. And again, you can take a lot of this before you get an off track. You can play with this a little bit, but I want to be able to get to full throttle before I get to this curb, take a big cut, and not have to lift as I'm coming out and tracking out, you know, to this wall. And then this is basically a straight. We're just taking the straightest possible path, which means as soon as this starts turning right, we're just going to hug it as much as we can. Then we're going to stay to the right because we've got that braking zone for this next left-right chicane coming up. And what I'm looking at here is the end of this white wall. That's where you're going to start braking. Typically, you can start braking a little bit later once tires come in. Kind of use your judgment based on how you felt about the last time around. I try to extend the track a little bit so I can use this little bit over the white line. Honestly, if it's like your first time, I wouldn't recommend it. It's a little bit sketchy. Just make sure that when you're braking, have the wheel straight, and you want to be able to brake as hard as you can in a straight line. And then we're going to turn it in and shoot for about the middle of this graded bit here for our apex.
Yellow flag.
Again,
Watch out.
we're going to be talking about the second part of the chicane is what's important. It's not so important that we just absolutely kill this corner. What's important is that we're able to get to throttle just before we get to that corner and never lift again. Which means, I'm probably going to end up cutting over here and not lifting at all because I want to have the maximum possible exit velocity for this big old straight here. And again, another thing that you'll see on this straight, especially with newer drivers, is they're going to go around this left side, right? Because they know it's a right-left chicane coming up next, right? But there's no reason to go to the left of the track. You want to do the straightest possible line. Well, the straightest possible line here is going to end up basically on the right side of the track. You can look at my wheel. There's no input right now at all, right? And I'm sighting in the start of that bridge as my braking point. Notice my wheel's still straight, still straight, still straight, still straight, still straight, still straight, and now I'm perfectly on my braking line, right? So if I went around the left side of the track, I would have just covered another, 100, 200, well, that might be a little bit much, but a good chunk of tarmac that I didn't have to, and it takes time to cover distance. So I would have been maybe a tenth slower, right? If I went on the outside of the track getting up to this point. Here again, I'm kind of aiming to use as much of this as you're comfortable with over on the left side of the white line here. My braking point is basically the start of the bridge. You're probably going to want to start out being a little bit before the bridge on cold tires and as you get comfortable, and then a little bit, after the bridge can be done once the tires are in and you're very comfortable with the line and your turn in here. This chicane is probably one of my worst chicanes in the game. The theory behind it here, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get turned in before I hit this grass, which feels so early when you're coming at it at speed, but it's correct. Okay. And again, my goal here is I'm going to want to be able to get to throttle as early as possible with as straight of a possible as wheel when I get to the second part of this chicane, because it's got a big straight after. Okay, so in order to do that, I almost need to put my right wheel in the grass on the other side of this sausage curb here, and it's actually pretty generous with the off tracks. So long as you're more or less, pretty close to the inside edge of this curb, you can take a little bit of the grass as well. And I'm looking to get basically a straight line to here.
Sorry, Pete.
Mhm.
Those curbs, obviously I take it SPO plays a big role in that, because in previous races, those white sausages gave me real big damage if I go
Yep.
over them.
This is a -4 SPO track, and it's
gosh.
explicitly because of these curbs. You will be leaving quite a bit of time on the track if you run a setup that does not allow you to cut these curbs. It's mandatory through this whole thing. So again, here we're going to have our left wheels. They can be just scaring the grass, but I'm trying to put them just on the inside edge of that white sausage curb. And I should have been full throttle before I got to that curb and not have to lift again. And it should force me kind of out towards this wall. While we're at it, let's just talk a little bit about the walls on this track, because I know that's a thing, right? So I don't know if anyone plays, like billiards or something like that. But there's a lot of skill games that have obstacles, right? Where the mental trick is not to think about what you don't want to do, right? The mental trick is not to come in here and say, okay, make sure I don't hit this wall on exit, right? Because what's going to happen? I'm going to be staring at the damn wall to make sure I don't hit it. And because I'm a human being, now I've got target fixation and I'm not in total control of where I actually wanted to put the car, because I'm focused on where I don't want to put the car. So that kind of translates into, like, if you play billiards or snooker or anything like that, what's the easiest way to make sure you don't scratch? What's the easiest way to make sure you don't pot the cue ball, right? It's to put the cue ball where you actually wanted it to go, which presumably is not going to be in the pot, right? If you put it where you wanted it to go, by definition, you did not do the thing that you were scared of, right? So when I'm coming in here, I'm not thinking about don't hit the wall. I'm thinking about, okay, let's get as much of this exit curb as is required to keep the car on track, right? And if I see that it's going to take more than 100% of the exit curb, that's fine. Then I'm going to look to, take just a little bit less of it. I'm thinking about the positive of what I want to do as opposed to what I don't want to have happen. And just that mindset, that's going to change where you're focusing your eyes. It's going to change your hand-eye coordination from, fight or flight, make sure this doesn't happen, to focus to make sure this positive thing does happen. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So here again, you'll kind of see people like try and treat this like a big apex coming around the straight. There's no need, right? Because when you came off that corner, your car is pretty much already pointed in this direction. There's no reason to track out to the right, cover more ground at the same speed than someone who just kept their wheel straight, right? They're going to, by definition, at the exact same speed with less ground to cover, they were faster than you, right? So we had some concern about this hairpin, what to do with racecraft situations, right? So the first thing, talking about braking points and that kind of thing, unfortunately, this is one where it's a little bit more of a feel, right? There isn't an exact brake marker. It's somewhere about halfway between the 1 and the 2, right? Depending on conditions, your tires, how comfortable you are getting the car, stood on its nose in a threshold braking situation, that kind of thing. Now, the first thing to keep in mind when you're coming up on this in a racecraft situation is there is a huge, long-ass fifth gear straight after, right? It is not worth winning this corner. And in fact, many times I would prefer to or even force people to go by me in this hairpin so that I can overtake before the final chicane and Wall of Champions. So if someone looks like they're going to get really divey and you don't have another reason to defend, go ahead and let them take it, right? You plan on letting them through. They might miss it and sail completely off, or if they nail it and they get the position on you on exit, hey, that's great, because I'm just going to get a big old draft slingshot, right? Now, that said, if you do get in a situation, it's just, you're in a Spaceball surrounded by morons situation, and you're, 3 of you and seeing people try 4 wide here, and you're on the inside, just really take your time. And again, go into it with the mindset that, like, if you're on the inside and you're going to defend and you're going to successfully defend, it should be for your safety and not to gain a position, because you're going to lose the position on the next straight, right? So make your decisions according. Okay, so coming up here for the line, again, it's kind of like halfway between those 2 marker boards. Sometimes you can use some of the dust on the track, like there's right about here. There's a distinct pattern in the dirt that often forms right under my front wing here that I can use for my marker, but you're really just getting a feel for exactly how far between the 1 and the 2 works for you. And the important bit for this one is in Skippy, a lot of the times, we're going to be braking really, really, really hard, and then we're going to, kind of like fling the car in and then start trailing off, right? Because that's just the way the Skippy likes to be driven in general. This one's a little bit different. This one, we're going to approach it a little bit more like driving a GT car or something like that, right? We're going to brake really, really, really hard. We're going to take off almost all the speed that we want to before we get to the turn in, and then we're going to drop from, instead of trailing off gently like we would for a typical Skippy corner, we're going to drop fairly rapidly from threshold braking into like, a 5 to 8% trail braking just as we turn in. So instead of, throwing it in a little bit early, letting the ass end hang out a little bit and gently trailing off, we're going to scrub all the speed that we think is necessary. And then we're going to trail just enough to hit apex. And again, what we're thinking about here is I want to get to throttle here and never have to lift again, right? It's not super important to me that I'm able to graze the wall on exit here. I just want to carry as much momentum as possible. I don't even care so much that I hit this curb. And in fact, in some cases, you could make an argument that not hitting the curb is even better, because what you're really concerned about is being able to get full throttle and stay there. And the curb can sometimes upset, we've got that open differential, you get the rear wheel on there, it might spin a little bit, and it's a very, very long straight after. So what we're really looking for here is get to throttle, have good purchase on the rear wheels, stay in throttle, That said, get comfortable with what that looks like. And if it looks like you're going to get somewhere near the wall in a way you're not comfortable with, correct it as early as possible. It's much better to lift, like here, right? When you know that, hey, this doesn't feel quite right. I'm not sure if I'm going to clear this wall, versus getting to here and being like, okay, this is a problem, right? Because now when you break here, you've completely killed your speed and you're not going to get it back, and you're going to get, the entire pack's going to pass you on the straight, versus just having, instead of just losing a half tenth because you had to correct a little bit early and now you're down 5 kilometers an hour, right? If you wait till the very end, you're going to be down 15, 20 kilometers an hour. Okay, here is another one. We'll see people with the final chicane coming up. It's a right-left. Correct. So they'll start lining up on the left side of the track. That's too much distance. There's no reason to be over there. The straightest line between your exit that was on the right side of the hairpin, coming out of that exit, and lining up for the wall for Wall of Champions is to keep your wheel perfectly straight, like mine is right now, and let the car bring itself out over to this wall when it's time. There's no reason to force it to cover more ground by getting closer to this wall earlier. And again, whoever came out ahead at the end of that hairpin, by this point is probably completely overlapped, if not passed. So don't worry so much about challenging at that hairpin. Use that hairpin to promote cars being in the order that you find advantageous as you come up to this Wall of Champions, right? Okay, so breaking point for Wall of Champions, I kind of look at this, I don't know if this is a Marshall box on the left, but whatever this outbuilding is, on cold tires, I'll probably be braking right about the end of that building, and then I start kind of tweaking it further and further towards the 2 marker. I never quite get there. On super warm tires, it's maybe halfway between this outbuilding and the 2 marker, right? And this is going to be one of those where we talked about you can have a couple of different gearings, right? The optimal line through this is basically going to be in 3rd, but if you're running through it a little bit more conservatively, 2nd isn't the end of the world. Just be aware that if you take it in 2nd, you want to be taking it at the point where you're almost bouncing off the rev limiter, with the understanding that 3rd would work too, right? Anytime that you're kind of in between there, that should inform where you want to be in the RPM for the gear that you choose. So if you're in 2nd, you're going to be looking at very, very high RPMs, right? You're going to be very close to 6K as you're going through there. If you're in 3rd, you're going to be kind of on the mid-range of 3rd gear. Here you'll see a lot of dive bombs too. In general, just let them go, right? It's very easy to brake a little bit earlier and get a much better run on exit than if someone's taking out your inside here. It's generally not worth trying to get around unless it's last lap or something and you're doing a Hail Mary. Otherwise, in general, it's better to just let them go, brake a little bit harder and earlier, so you can turn in at a later time than them, but at your optimal line, and you'll be able to get to throttle sooner than they could for that left-hand part of the chicane, and you'll probably catch them before you get to T1. Okay, so for the chicane itself, this is why I hate this track, because I'm terrible at these kind of corners. This one, you basically have to launch the car. So again, we're looking at, there's a very, very, very nasty slowdown on the just to the right side of this curb, but we need to have the wheels basically on top of it, right? And we always want to have a little bit of throttle as well while we're going over that curb, to just make sure that it doesn't bounce around too much when the car lands, right, and unweights. And then typically for this left, either I'm going to very, very lightly dab the brakes if I wasn't going quick enough, or if I got the line right, hit the throttle at 100% and then let off. Either way, I want to bring the weight slightly forward as I'm turning in left for the second bit. And I'm typically not taking much, if any, curb there. I think Gwendy recommends you take a bunch of it. I haven't watched the tutorial yet this week, but I remember he hit that pretty hard. I generally don't. Wall of Champions, get as close to the wall as you need to. Again, thinking about, I want to have the wheel as straight as possible, and hopefully not have to lift the throttle. Those are my two goals. I'm not thinking about don't hit the wall. I'm thinking about be precise with, placing my left wheels near to the white line, and making sure that I'm at full throttle. If I do that, by definition, I don't hit the wall, right? That's about it. And I think I need to check my setup quick because I heard a lot of scraping that shouldn't be happening. So let me just do that before we do a lap.
While you do that, Pete,
Oh yeah,
let's say
I'm at 5 SP.
Let's say we're not comfortable taking the curbs like that, and we prefer to run 3. I guess that'd be fine.
It's fine. I mean, you'll lose potential time on the track. That's all there is to it, right? It is objectively faster to be able to cut those curbs very hard. You can, of course, choose not to. Just be aware that if you do, you're going to get damaged, right? That's a similar proposition to Zandvoort this week. Mm-hmm. You can get around on 5 SPO. Some of the fast guys are doing it, but that means you're not taking any of that curbs in the first chicane, right? Because eventually you're going to ding it. So, okay. So let's, I guess, any questions, or I'll just kind of run around here. Anything else we didn't cover? I'll take the stunned silence as a positive.
Yeah, no.
It takes it's clear.
Sorry, what? So your SPO is on -4, yeah?
It is, yep. And you heard the grinding as I went around?
Yes.
That was because I was at 5 SPO.
Yeah.
So this time around, we shouldn't have that issue.
So do you, when you change your SPO down, do you adjust your roll bar, your anti-roll bar at all?
It really depends on the track in general. I don't necessarily do it as a consequence of changing the SPO. I do it as based on the kinds of corners that I think are going to be on the track. We kind of missed that. So this one I'm running 8 because I really like the characteristics in the hairpin. I really want to have maximum launch coming out of that hairpin because it's a forever straight, right? I generally run 7 no matter what, or even maybe going down to 6 to be a little bit more compliant, but it's not really required. It's very much a personal taste thing. I don't think there's any reason that you have to tie it to your ride height. So here again, you'll see a lot of people kind of avoid that left curb, but you see I barely moved the wheel at all. I'm already over on the right side of the track, so why would I track over to the left, which you'll see all the time. So just keeping my wheel straight and letting the car bring itself over. I didn't have to do anything. Obviously, if I didn't move the wheel at all, that was the straightest possible path, so that's the way to go. And I am very inconsistent and a little bit scared of that final chicane myself, so take, as I say, not as I do, most likely. Oh, we didn't talk about this corner, huh? We'll talk about that next time through. But here you can see what I was talking about. I'm holding this pretty tight because the Skippy can't physically carry enough speed to require backing all the way out for that T2. So again, keeping a pretty straight wheel here, not running around the left side of the tracks, there's no need. I could have cut that right a lot more. I was a little bit late on turning there. Like I say, it feels really, really unnaturally early. I struggle with that quite a bit, really forcing myself to turn in earlier than I think makes sense.
So So Pete, in the hairpin, if somebody is typically trying to dive bomb you there on the inside, do you just go wide and take the outside line and let them go? Yeah.
Typically, in an ideal scenario, I'm going to brake earlier, so they get to the apex before I do, and I want to keep my ideal line. I just want them to have gone through before I get there.
Okay. Okay.
Let's talk about that.
Sector 3 time is fast. That was 155.03.
You were going to talk about T1?
Oh, shit. So I was. Alright. Let's talk about one more thing on this lap, though. Slowdowns. That came up last week. So dealing with clearing a slowdown, the idea is to only serve what you were required to serve, right? So there's no need to let all the way off the gas, all the way down a straight until it clears, and then get back on the gas, right? The idea is the moment that slowdown clears, you want to be at race pace, right? So either on your normal braking speed coming into a corner, or I mean, that's basically the ideal thing, you know, if you can serve it in the braking zone.
Okay.
So I'll see if I can pick one up. We'll do one more round.
And he's usually good with them. It's just that track that caught her out, I think.
Yeah.
Spartan's really good with them.
Yeah, this one's got some burly slowdowns.
Yeah, it's 2.9 seconds or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it depends on there's a couple of
3.5.
multi-second ones, yeah.
Yeah. It's because I don't know the track, last week's track, that I wasn't too sure on how far I can push it.
Sure.
But normally when I know the track, then I know how far I can push it before I actually have to do something about it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a
But yeah,
general rule. I'm trying to do it coming up to the next big braking zone. I'm going to brake early enough that it scrubs off and takes as long as the penalty is required. So, okay.
Yeah.
Coming up to T1 here. So I'm looking at these side roads, right? So I see there's a grouping, the second from the last side road, where they're really tight
Sector 3
together.
time is quick.
This is going to basically be my about
155.36.
2/3, sometimes closer to the end of this is going to be where I start braking pretty hard, and I do turn in very slightly. It's going to be a little bit different for you, because for me, this is like one of those, like counter steering, sliding the car around to get to the apex kind of things. You may not want to be trying that, right? So you might want to turn in a little bit more so you can brake in a little bit straighter line. But for me, the important part is really getting a good visual reference against this second side road. Let's see if I can get black flagged here. So against this
Slow down, get back some
side road
time.
right here, figure out what works for you. That's a really good marker. That's easy to use in traffic, and start braking a little bit across the track. Like I said, the full chat way through here, you're going to end up kind of counter steering around seconds, kind of like that Oran Park T1 T2 deal, where you kind of give the car a suggestion, very gentle suggestion to start turning left, and the braking pulls the car the rest of the way around. Don't feel like you have to do that. Right? Brake a little bit earlier so the rear's a little bit more planted if you're not comfortable with that. Just be aware that's kind of what the really quick folks are doing. And what I'm thinking about here is I want to be able to, this is a chicane on the map, but there's enough distance between T1 and T2 where it's a little, you can almost treat it like a very baby straight, right? Between the two. They're pretty distinct corners. So if it was a proper chicane, I'd probably be looking at staying as tight as I could on the exit of this one, so I could come around and do that outside line to T2, which I explained a lot of people will probably do because that's normally what you would be looking to do in a chicane, right? But with the way the camber of the road is, and the pit lane being where it is, that doesn't actually make sense here. So basically I'm looking to get no more than about this far up the curb if I can. You used to be able to just yeet the hell out of this little grate bit on the left, but it will it can actually wreck your car now. Since they did the new damage model in ways that just don't even make sense. Like it just like nothing will happen and your front left wheel's just gone, right? So just stay away. There's something hinky with this corner. Just don't cut it any more than the curb and you should be all right. And what I'm looking for here is to have the wheel straight, and I will actually get back to throttle, full throttle, just for a second here. Get the car perfectly straight, and with my wheel perfectly straight, brake hard down to first, and then I'm just tracing this curb all the way around. And again, once I get to full throttle, I don't want to have to lift again. And you saw in those first laps, I really only had to come about, this far out. If you get to throttle a little bit too early, it'll throw you out a little bit more. That's fine, just go with it. But my goal is definitely try to keep it tight and cover as little track as possible. Okay, any other burning questions or desires?
No, I think that's good.
I think that's...
I suppose I can try one of these slow down things here. There's a couple of good ones. I guess. So Annie, if you're comfortable with it, great. For everyone else, definitely try this. Right. So let's go ahead and get one. Okay, so I've got a 2.3 second slowdown from that, right? I'm watching it count down right now at 2.1. I know I've got to serve it pretty soon. See it counting down to 1.9, 1.7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Getting down to that 3, 2, 1. Now it's gone. And I'm going to exit at full speed.
Oh, okay.
So that was, what did I say it was? A 2.1 second. My delta right now is 2.16 down. So I'm looking for my time lost to basically exactly match that penalty, nothing more.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking to do that by modulating gently either top speed if I'm in a big straight, or how early I'm braking, right?
Sorry, Pete, that was my question, because I think in one of my races I lost it in the hairpin and I went over the grass and I got to slow down, but then the straight is coming up. So the straight's too long for me to wait before I,
Sure. So then.
So what do you do?
It's as little as possible, right?
Okay.
In general, it's as little as possible. We can probably force one of those on the final, which is another big nasty one. So we can talk about that a little.
You just don't run top speed, Annie. That's all.
Yeah, but instead of instead of going like 50 kilometers down for a couple seconds, right? Go 5 kilometers down for 10 seconds,
Okay. Because I can remember in one of the races, somehow I ended up, going over the grass in the hairpin, and I got that slowdown.
Yeah, but what Pete's saying, you lift it completely, and he says don't lift completely, just get your speed down for a longer period of time, and that will...
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it being in like stop and go traffic. You've got a couple of options there, right? You can herky jerky, slam on the gas, slam on the brakes. The car's going to go all over the damn place. People are going to get surprised by you standing the car on its nose all the time. Or you can let there be a little gap and just gently lift. Oh, I wanted to see if there was a slowdown on that left foot. We can get this one. This one's even worse. I think this is a 3-second slowdown up here.
I think it's 2.99.
I'm usually far enough off pace that just driving my regular way is good enough to serve a slowdown.
Honestly, sometimes here, like it's bad enough to have gotten the slowdown that, yeah, okay, that's a 3.5 second.
Track limits.
So I'd move over to the left and then just, slowly start bleeding it off. But I'm not going to slam on the brakes. I'm going to be looking for how can I get it to be exactly 0 once I get here, right?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
And in that case, I was a little bit off.
Slow down a bit if you don't want a penalty.
So I didn't get to clear it until I got off of that first bit.
Okay.
But I'm trying avoid I want to have as little speed differential between me and traffic around me as possible for safety, and then of course I want to lose as little speed as possible. At the end of the slowdown, I don't want to keep serving it. You know, we already got taxed enough. Okay, I think that's all I had. Yeah, I would just recommend, you know, on your own time, if it's not something you've practiced, incur some slowdowns on purpose and get used to clearing them such that your delta for that section is your best, you know, your optimal section, less the penalty.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely practice some tomorrow night, some specifically the hairpin. Get a, you know, practice the slowdowns in the hairpin.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to follow the leader a bit?
Yeah.
Sector
Larry,
2 time
on what
is
are you
okay.
going to run your SPO then?
I guess I have to try Pete's advice.
I was just going to say, let's try Pete's -4.
I know what I'm going to look like. Giraffe mode.
Monster truck.
Okay, -4. Okay.
Look out for the pit speed limit.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Who's going to take the lead?
Not it.
Not it.
Box in.
Charles.
5,
That's usually our
4,
drill master. I don't know if you come from the
3,
track, Charles.
2.
I'm not, but
One.
we're going slow. So it's fine.
Box now.
Okay. Just look at them. Right,
We go
line up.
single. Let's go single file.
Yep, single.
The pit exit's clear.
Yeah, so I've learnt something sure tonight. It's been a while since I've done this track, but I used to go out to the left here.
In general, if you find yourself steering to the left, no good, right? Just let the car tell you how far out it has to go.
It's not bad on -4 over those curves.
Yeah, it's good enough.
Yeah, you really won't upset the car at -4. At that point, it's more avoiding hitting the exact highest point of the curb, because then it's just the ride height difference is weird. And of course, grass. Okay, back on push to talk. So I can actually respawn now.
It's third. Oh, shoot.
It's actually amazing. It's my turn.
Yeah.
Sorry, Charles.
All right.
I suppose I can turn off this.
Sorry, I missed the apex there.
Lost one. Who's that?
Oh, that was me. I'm just getting out of the way when I lost. Okay,
I
back
never
up.
remember which one of these it is. Thought it was the.
Slow down a little bit.
There we go.
You're good. I just realized I'm talking on the wrong channel.
Easily
Oh,
done.
shit. Didn't expect anyone to be behind me. Off, I say.
Turning the car in on -4 is a bit different.
Okay. I know.
I think you've got to slow down a wee bit, Larry.
Okay.
All right, let's go
Just
see
have
if
a
we can
Bolton
catch him.
behind me, and I can't deal with that.
Oh, you can't respond tonight. we can give him. we can give him some slack.
Why can't I respond?
He's got his grandchildren with him, and he's got to be. He can't
Oh
talk.
yeah. He's twins. He's
Yeah.
angels.
Yeah. So we could. Oh.
Just old bastard. All I
What did he say?
We're all bastards. That's all he can say.
Whispering.
Dad, you can't say that about your son.
That's a quick.
Are we waiting for this two? Oh, okay. Are we waiting for
Jesus
Dennis or
Christ.
not?
Where's Dennis?
Mind these track limits, please, Pete.
12
Oh,
behind
I'm
me.
so bad at this track.
I've just learned that on low enough graphics settings, that out hut for the last stop isn't there.
That's right, yeah, I've noticed that as well.
What's that? Sorry.
The hut that Pete was talking about before the two board, it's not there on low settings.
Okay, you've got to wait up a wee bit, Mr. Bolton.
can't.
No, I'm. Oh, okay. Sorry. Did I jump in too soon?
Okay.
Yeah, Pete. It's Flappy. Oh, it's the other Dennis. It's not that bad actually on -4. It was worse on Zolder when I tried it.
I'm actually fine with the -4 so far, but I'm not full speed yet, so.
It's just turning the car in that I struggled with on Zolder. It's just the one turn I struggled with, to be honest.
Yeah, Zolder, you have to really throw it around side to side a lot more than you do here. Here it's just to clear the curbs. Oh my god, why can I never get that chicane right? Let me try earlier braking. I'm always turning late no matter what, even though I'm screaming at myself. Turning earlier. I'm gonna have to train that out of myself at some point.
Nice livery, Jake.
Thank you.
You were 10th off the pace in Sector 2.
Dennis, I think we've lost. Are you guys? Yeah, there we go. Okay,
But-
go.
It's amazing how much we've improved as a bunch
Sector
of
3
people.
times okay.
Remember how
Yeah,
how
I
long?
was
how long?
going to say that, you know, Lawrence. I've missed a couple of weeks, and I can certainly see the difference, honestly.
But just the pace, Charles. It's like
Yeah.
your outlap was a lot faster than usual.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Still not early enough. God damn it.
what's happening there?
Oh, blimey.
I wanted to see how much draft I could get.
Sector 2 time is
alongside
good.
Nails.
Seen the rust bucket livery? Can't see. Jake is a rally crosser. I like that.
I do drive a bit drifty. I know it's part of what keeps me slow.
Larry, you're breathing into the microphone, Larry.
You're currently
I'm chewing
1.0, quicker than second. Sector 3 time is fast.
So are you. I think it's a good tactic to keep people behind you, Jake. They won't trust going past you.
Oh! Sorry, Nails.
Oh! Oh!
Yep, that was the ripple.
Sounds like that was excellent threat assessment.
Sector 1 is quick. Yellow
I
flag.
won't be able to follow you for much longer.
That was better.
I'm running out of fuel.
Sorry, Charles.
Alright, Jake.
Hey, you lost your nose, Jake.
Got a new one in the pits.
Yeah.
Oh, can break later.
Doesn't feel like I lost it.
It's still showing in my mirror.
It came flying past me. Maybe I'd put it back on.
Oh,
Sector
okay,
2
3
time
doesn't
is
work.
okay.
3 doesn't work for me.
Oh!
Hang on.
Net code.
Oh, there's more bits flying. That's Charles. Bits flying off Charles's car now.
Oh, that was net code. I was nowhere near that stopped car.
God,
Something else
scared
flew
me,
off in front of me.
I was coming through the last chicane at full send, and you were just parked there.
Did you hit her?
No, I managed to just miss her.
I just went through it too fast, I think.
Sector 3 time is quick.
Yeah, it's second gear top or third gear middle RPMs, not third gear top any.
Yellow flag. Caution.
Yeah.
I think we lost some.
Yeah,
I think Annie stopped them.
yeah, sorry.
Slow up, Marcus.
Sector 1 time's okay.
There, I got too much. Got a penalty.
We could just catch him at the pits again, right?
Sorry.
Alright, Annie. Chicane dive bomb practice, what do you think?
Oh, okay.
Go for a beat.
Your sector 2 time is quick.
blimey.
Left side.
Bad luck, Pete. That was a big one. Are you okay?
See, that's why we practice.
Oh, blimey. Oh.
One more lap.
Yeah.
I think Jake has
Niels isn't leading, and then we're
There's a car
done.
approaching. Don't cross the
That's
white
Jake
line.
Oh, okay. Okay, Jake,
Oh.
get in front of me then, Jake.
I've got to stop go penalty.
Okay,
off.
1 second.
Sorry, Mr. Bolton, I had a slow down there.
Alright, mate, it's no problem.
still get a lot of wheel spin off these curbs.
Yellow flag, keep your wits about you, mate.
Yeah, whoever polishes them does a good job.
Go Knowles, catch him.
Yep, this is next week's track. This is a race to learn session, so we do a couple of walkthroughs and drills and that sort of thing. So this is a just a lead follow session.
I got to slow down, darn it.
Where folks are just getting used to the lines
Timing.
after having done the walkthrough.
Oh no, good timing. You're taking over.
It's going real easy till I get cleared. Or not.
Okay, another slow down. Why not?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Just clear it. It's fine. Do you still have it?
There we go.
Okay, because I can clear it.
Yeah, man. Hopefully you get something. If not, kill a little
that's
time,
me
you know?
off, Larry.
Okay.
I'll be back as soon as I can.
Thanks, Danny.
If I'm not back, Larry, you've got to come and switch off PCs and stuff, yeah?
It's fine. It's all
Good night, folks. If I'm back, I'll... Bye.
Oh,
See ya, Annie. Oh, that was too far left.
yeah.
Is this third, right? Yeah. Feels
That was second for me because I was slow.
We need to watch these track limits.
I have to be really patient there to get on the throttle at the right time.
Yeah. If you line the car up right, then it's gonna be easier.
Now, what might be interesting is when you trade off drivers, maybe have them take the inside line into the final chicane, just so you get used to what that timing's like when you want to yield. More or
Far
less have
left.
them dive bomb their way
Clear
in
left.
and give them room to do it safely and efficiently.
Yeah.
Pete, in that first chicane, when you do the flick left, how do you get the car to flick like that? Do you lift just briefly to, or do you do something, or are you just flicking the wheel?
You mean turn 1 and 2?
No. The next one, 3 and 4.
Sector 1 is 1.4 off the pace.
No, it's just wheel input. I'm waiting to get the throttle until I can get, until I'm sure that I can get it turned left the way that I want, and then I'm just full throttle and wheel input, no tricks.
Charles, you want to come back?
No, I'm getting rid of this slow down and see what I can do into this turn.
Right side. Hold your line. Clear right.
Sector 2 is 1.6 off the pace.
Oops, sorry. Too brave.
Oh.
Too much curb.
Clear left. Left side. Clear left. On your left. Still there. Clear left.
Sector 3 is 1.5 off the pace.
Oh,
Yellow
150,
flag,
clear.
caution. Your lap time was 159.93.
Looks like most of us...
Did everyone die? Do we want to reset?
Yeah, I was about to say, looks like we're pretty comfortable with the track.
Yep.
Should we do a pit party? And go flat out?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Should we go in reverse order? I don't know. Or is that too complicated?
I don't think it matters, does it?
Okay.
I don't know what the alien time is here. I would imagine it's probably 52 or something.
Let's just go.
I don't know. Haven't really looked at times yet.
I'll get a 2-second jump on you all.
Getting comfortable
No,
with
we're not
the
going
track.
yet.
Cheeky. So do slow lap out and then at the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pit exit is clear.
I don't remember what the times were last season either. Should probably go look. I'd imagine it's also highly temperature dependent. There's a lot of high load corners here.
Fortunately, no harm.
Gain myself 2 black flags.
I'll clear it.
No, they are gone. I'm just waiting for you at the pits.
Who wants to take the lead?
Not me, I am on cold ass.
Okay. Let's wait for the others.
I'll just
Okay.
Good to go?
After this chicane.
After then, yeah. Right, Flappy, join us.
Okay, let's go. Go, go, go.
On your right. Clear right. On your right. 3 wide, you're on the left. Clear right.
To the right.
Car left. Clear left. On your left. Clear left.
Your sector 2 time is quick.
Left side. Still there. Still there. Still there. Clear left.
No. Every time.
Are you maintaining a little bit of throttle when you go over those curves?
I am, but I think my left rear was a bit aggressive over the curb. It's the landing bit, right?
Yep, that good old RMG.
Sector 3 time's okay.
Sorry. Oh,
No problem.
I got too much curb.
I think I get too soon on the throttle as well.
Whoa!
Car right. Clear right.
I'm dead.
Did you get contact from that? I got nothing.
No. I'm dead. Try to get the back end out around those turns.
Sector 1 is 0.6 off the pace.
What are we doing? I'm back.
You're back.
Yeah. Not sure for how long, but I'm back.
Well, have you seen Mad Max? That's pretty close to what we're doing.
Okay. Which one? The very first one with Mel Gibson or the one with Charlize Theron in it?
Oh, the OG with Gibson, of course.
Ah, okay. Yeah, seen all of them.
Sector 2 time is okay.
Right.
Let's go. Let's get in front of Pete and Marcus.
Okay. Coming. Oh, slow down, slow down, slow down.
Oh, that's cheeky, Larry.
Oh, done it again. Yep. World of Champions. I must be a champion. Sorry, Knowles. Ruined your run.
Sector 3 time is quick. That lap was a 155.49.
You're not waiting for them, Annie?
Are we waiting for them? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they were racing, by the way.
Okay.
Oops.
Okay, sorry.
Rodney's in P1 right now. Okay, go Annie, go, go, go. Go,
Sector
go.
1 is quick.
Oh, cold tires. Oh, cold tires.
Yeah, the session might run out early because I've started early.
Ooh.
Go, 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 go.
Sector 2 time is good.
Jeez.
Car right. Hold your line. Hold your line. Hold your line.
Okay, that's my issue,
Clear
Pete.
right.
I'm on the
That
throttle,
lap was at
flat on the throttle before
Right
the second
side.
curb.
Clear right.
Sector 3 time's okay.
Oh no, this is not a good position to be in. I'm racing Marcus and Pete and Charles.
On your right. Hold your line. Hold your line. Clear right.
Come on, Larry.
The pressure got to me, the pressure got to me. Sorry. I am so sorry, Marcus. I'm stuck. I am so...
Sector 1 is 2.6 off the pace.
No.
What happened, Danny?
I
T-boned Danny.
I braked too late in that turn.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So it's just fun and
yeah.
I T-boned that.
Yeah.
Oh, low on throttle there.
Sector 2 time is okay.
Not again. Ooh. Ooh. But no, Lawrence and Neil's having a good battle. Yeah.
Sector 3 time is fast. That lap time was 1:57.34. Sector 1 time is good. Sector 2 time is quick. Sector 3 time is fast. You've just done a 1:54.46.
Again. Nils keeps passing me at the Wall of Champions, and I keep jumping back behind him and the pit exit.
Sector 1 time is good.
New personal best. Woohoo!
Awesome.
My force feedback doesn't feel right, Larry. I don't know what's...
I mean, it's the -4.
Oh, is it the -4 that you...
Sector 2 time is good.
It feels like spongy. It feels like rubbery.
My force feedback.
Yeah, the wheel.
Yeah.
The wheel, not just the wheel. What does it feel
Yeah.
like?
Getting lots more resistance.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah. Okay, I just need to get used to it.
You can set it a bit lower to 8.5 should be fine.
Clear left.
You're now
Set
1.4
one tick lower
seconds
if you want.
quicker than second place. That lap was a 154.15.
Lower is 8.2 for me.
That's fine, try that.
Alright, Pete, we need to watch the track limits.
I just can't get turn 1 right.
I'm still experimenting with one.
Is it worth, Pete, watching a lap of yours?
I think it's with I'm just braking too late and not enough.
Well, make sure you pick good static braking points so you can play with walking it back a little bit and know that you're making a specific type of an adjustment and see if it's better or worse.
See, my biggest issue is, Pete, I'm not sure what the car should feel like. I just have to go off my time, I guess, but... And I keep pushing it forward and then suddenly the car's out of control, and I think I should have been able to control that, because it's a skill issue, but then it's a braking point issue. I don't know if that makes sense at all.
It does. That's a little bit of a mental trick, getting away from, well, the car should be able to do this, right? I end up in that trap, honestly, quite a bit, where I'm like, I know the car can do this, I've seen it do this, but there's a point where, you have to accept what it's doing now, today, right, and work with what you got at the moment.
No, you're right. You're right.
Like I get myself into trouble, like, man, it's like I have to walk my braking points back, but I shouldn't have to, so then I just proceed without walking them back, and surprise, I miss all my braking points until I accept that, yeah, they really do have to be walked back.
I'm stubborn like that as well. Where I see somebody else take a break at a certain point, I want to do the same, and I just can't.
So I think we've got about 5 minutes here. Were we planning on doing a race session, or?
Yeah, we could do a race if you guys want. You guys up for a race?
Yep,
Sure.
definitely.
Right. I'll go jump out and set it up.
Yellow flag.
I'm not going to do anything clever with grid, by the way. I'm just going to literally...
Larry, I'm not gonna do the race. Yeah.
Just join Annie. If you jump out, you jump out. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I can't get the car around the track.
Sector 3 time is quick. You've just done a
Otherwise you carry on.
154.89.
With these settings, I'm just gonna mess up your race. I've got to go and get used to this car first. With the new settings. Okay, I'll join, but just be warned.
Just off from the pits. So you just get the laps in. So in other words, don't grid.
Sector 1 time's okay.
Sorry, I confused myself. go with no qualifying, okay?
You'll need to slow down to give back the time gained.
I just need a quick smoke. I'll be right back.
Okey-doke. I think it's 12 laps this race, isn't it? Make it in 12.
13.
Sector
12
2
laps.
is
What's lap time?
1.5 off the pace.
I'm going to stick time on it, 40 minutes, but it's 12 laps, okay? 12, curve 140. And what I'll do is, no, I'm not going to bother with the grid. Oh no, I won't. Sequential.
That lap time was 156.35.
I don't know if I've messed this up now, by the way, so click the buttons. Right, race is going up imminently, so I hope I've got the settings correct.
Sector 1 time's okay.
Click the grid button, did nothing, so I don't know what it's going to do with the grid. Right, session's firing up.
Okay.
Remember to withdraw from this one.
It's also through league, yeah?
Yeah. It's only 5 minutes practice, by the way, so hopefully everyone gets in. It's no quali. I'll probably mess that up now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Marcus is going to make that.
I'll just create a new one if it doesn't.
Assume that's this one.
That's just the race.
It's the top one.
10:47.
Is it the
No,
top one?
it's the one with the laps on it, or the race box completed. There's 2. That's the bottom one for me. The one that says 12L plus in the R
Yeah.
column. I might have messed this up now.
It's on the league session. Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah, it's league, yeah.
Is it 10:52 or 10:48?
10:47 it's set for me.
It must be, yeah, it must be 8 for me then.
If I mess it up, I'll lose another one.
Nah, I see it. It looks good from here.
Yeah, I don't know if everyone will make it in time. Yeah, it's only 1 minute 32.
It's 10:52 for me. So it's a 12 lap race, is it?
12 laps, yeah. So Jake's in, Dennis is in, Annie's in, I'm in, Pete's in.
It's Marcus.
Yeah, I'm loading up.
Oh, perfect.
Is it on leave?
It's
Yeah.
league, yeah. 12L plus, so in the R column is the race one.
Okay.
Who else are we missing? Jake's in, Nils. Don't know if Nils is coming. Charles is in. There's Nils there.
The pit lane speed limit is 64 kilometers per hour. All clear on pit exit.
There's 2 more joining, 369 at 999. It's Nils and Marcus.
The track temperature's decreasing. It's now 65 Fahrenheit.
good. Oh, well. Which turn you struggling with, Annie?
Yellow flag, keep your wits about you, mate.
Yeah, I don't know, one of the chicanes.
The last one.
No, the one under the bridge. But I know what I know what my problem is. I'm trying to take Pete's turn-in point, and I'm not used to that turning point, so I keep spinning out.
Yeah, I did that as well, and yeah, I had to pull it back. I braked a bit earlier as well for that one.
Yeah, so I'm struggling with that.
Yeah, I did for both chicanes. I started braking earlier.
I struggle with that one too, for what it's worth. It's extremely inconsistent for me.
It's not just the braking point, it's the turn-in point that I'm struggling with as well. Going far to the left and then turning in, I'm not used to that at all. That's not how I've been taking it at all. So,
yeah, it feels a little unnatural, and it's unnaturally early too.
Yeah. So I keep spinning out or messing up.
Abort.
Seconds for grid.
Oof. Sliding everywhere.
No, this no.
I think you'll see in the race conditions if you drive behind someone else, it helps quite a bit, for me at least. You gonna start from the pits, Annie, or are you gonna grid?
Oh, I gridded P7, but I'll just stay back.
Just the guys behind you, don't
Yeah,
run
just
into Annie.
Just
Just
come
pull
past me.
12
I'll
laps.
pull over.
The air temp is
I'll go to the
63
left. I'll
Fahrenheit.
pull to the left.
Okay, Pete, be ready. Watch for the lights. Let's go.
Oh, you're fine, Annie, there's no one in behind you.
Nice start, mate. Well done.
Not a fan of that line. Jesus Christ.
You're pulling away from the guy behind. The gap's now 1.4.
Messed that one up.
Jake, you okay?
Yeah, I pushed to slow down a little too far.
Ah, okay.
Ooh, spin.
A little better.
Oh, hello, wall.
That was a 153.85.
Gotta figure out what I'm doing to get that rear wheel spin. I wonder if I'm getting too much curb.
Oh, I've lost my draft now. In trouble. That's me gonna drift away.
Oh! Oh! Hey!
Uh-oh.
What
Looks like
happened?
P4
Sorry.
has binned it in. Wall of Champions.
Huh? I'm so sorry about that.
Ah, no worries. No worries.
That's the fastest lap.
Ooh. Don't tell me iRacing's crashed as well. Oh, great.
Again.
Yeah, that's crazy. I bet I think I know what. Yeah, it's crashed.
The gap to Jacobson behind is now 5.2 seconds.
I just set my best sector 1 ever by going through turn 1 and way slower than I thought I should.
That's good.
You're leading.
That chicane is not my friend.
You've just done a 154.34.
Foot.
Oh, this is not going to be a good week. You can tell already.
Incident in Wall of Champions. It looks like Jacobson.
Yeah, that might have been too much on last chicane.
Yeah. Oh, I just need to get used to the new feel of the car. It does feel a lot different to me.
Yep, this is Montreal. This is going to be next week's track. Very nice. Yeah, it's a beautiful track. Really questionable for racing in Skippies, but is a nice track. I can bet.
You're pulling away. The gap behind is now 11 seconds. Okay, Pete, you're halfway home, got plenty of fuel. That's the fastest lap of the race.
I'm getting to throttle too early for that 3-4 deal. Jesus Christ. Understeer everywhere.
Enjoy the rest of the race, guys.
Oh, Charles.
Thanks, Joel.
Thanks,
worries.
Charles.
No worries. Catch you later.
Thanks, mate.
Have a nice weekend.
That time I executed the slowdown right.
We're setting the pace. Your times are good in all 3 sectors.
There we go. Actually got it to turn left that time.
Do you have damage, Flappy?
Bumpy.
No, but I spun it pretty badly. I'm not too confident with these chicanes. I'm jumping through the last one like a bunny.
Nice one, Pete.
Crazy.
This is great. Come on, keep nailing those exits. Fastest lap. Your lap time was a 1:53.70.
Nope.
The gap behind is now 12 seconds.
What are lap times supposed to be like again?
155, Sandy.
155s.
Yeah. For you. I think. What you're running at the moment?
I had a 156 now, but before I crashed out, I had a 155.
Yeah. I think you'll easily do 155s. I'm doing 154.6 at the moment.
If I can keep the car on the road.
So you're usually about 0.3 or 4 of a second off me, so.
I definitely need more practice with,
Yeah, it's consistency I'm lacking.
not just that, I need...
Yeah, my main problem right now is consistency. Then I nail one chicane and pin the other 3.
Yeah, that's my issues. Consistency. But I know why. Mine's the braking points. I'm experimenting with braking points, that's why. That last chicane, I land sideways.
We're quickest right now. Your times are good in all 3 sectors.
Too much curve, I think. That's what it is, yeah. Yeah, that last lap is a second off my normal pace.
There's an incident in turn 9. We think it might be Pedersen.
.155.8. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, keep pushing, you'll get much quicker. I think it depends what split you're in. If you're in the third split, you'll be fine with that pace. Second split, not so much, I think.
Well, I dropped quite a bit in my I rating, so I'll be a split lower, I think.
Yeah, I think you will. Depends how popular this track is, I guess.
Well, a lot of people seem to like it, for the same reasons I don't like it.
I have to say, I'm not a big fan.
I've never liked it much, to be honest. I find it really tricky to be consistent. And he's had some of the worst races here.
Yeah.
Yep, I think everybody has. Hence, not a real big
Come on,
fan.
Pete. 2 laps left. You're P1. Your last lap time was
I don't think I've ever actually finished a race here.
153.74.
I think I finished, but like last or something. I
In the
can't
pits.
remember. In the
Twice you
pits.
finished in the pits, yeah. On the second toe. My turning on the first chicane is broken now. Not in good times now. Would you expect less wheel spin with this SPO? I get quite a lot.
Well, it's possible for it to move around a bit more, so
The gap behind's increased to
it's kind of a trick
17
question.
seconds.
Don't
Ow.
you
You
make the
generally
rear
have
of
a
the
fair
car?
bit of grip, but you can also move the weight around so much that it's
Okay, I see
quite
what
possible
you
to unweight it.
mean. I see what you mean.
It's like drift cars are slammed for a reason. You know, they don't put them on monster truck mode, but Baja trucks move around pretty good too.
Who's doing that? Pete?
Come on, Pete.
I expect top split to be 52s at least.
That's the fastest lap.
My brave crew chief just told me push, push, push. We can still win this on the last lap.
It's Montreal. You might be onto something. You never know.
Well, if you take 10-2 like that. And now it's
That's
nearly
me.
26. No, he's talking about Pete for some reason. He's very brave. That's better on the chicane. Let's catch Drake. Not like that.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need all the practice I can get this week with
Well,
this.
get to ours tomorrow night, you'll be fine. The key thing is staying with the guy in front, Annie, on the so you don't lose draft. in less than 0.7 seconds. And then
Yeah.
Well done,
For me,
Pete.
at
Great
this
win.
stage, the
You
key
deserve
thing
that
is to
today.
keep the car on the road while braking and turning and.
Just remember, there's a point where most tracks were like that.
That's true.
It'll come.
I'm slowly but surely getting used to how it feels now.
it's a lot more spongy, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the initial input is like non-existent.
Yeah. Oh. P8. The race finished, yeah?
Mm-hmm. I think I'm just doing another lap for funsies.
Yeah, I definitely need to practice more tomorrow night to get used to this. Definitely. I mean, I did. Oh, okay. I started off really, really badly. Then my best lap was 1:55.7, and then a 1:56, 1:55, 1:56. Yeah, it's not consistent.
Yeah, I'm not consistent at all.
Not consistent at all.
What's your definition of consistency? 0.3 of a second, Pete?
Yeah, I'm generally going for 2 or 3 tenths off per lap if I can.
That's insane, Annie.
Far from consistent then.
We work on off seconds.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, I can't believe the car feels so much different if you change the SBO that much.
Yeah, the complete other end that you're used to.
Yeah.
Right,
Well, that was very fun and informative, so I appreciate the invitation and stuff.
Yeah, no.
Thanks for joining.
And thank you, Marcus and Pete.
As usual.
As usual. Jake, we normally host practice sessions on a Sunday and a Monday then as well. So if you want to come and join tomorrow night, same time, more or less, for practice.
Ugh, gross.
I will probably be practicing Zolder for the Sunday night Skippy race at that point.
Oh yeah,
I appreciate the invite.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good luck. It's at Zolder.
Yep. Yeah, my goal is just to finish with an unbent wing.
Yeah.
Go backwards.
Alright, thank you everybody.
Thanks,
thank you, Jake. Yeah, thank you very much, Pete.
The pit lane speed limit is
I just need to
64
get used
kilometers
to.
per hour.
Excuse me. I do apologize. I just need to get used to the new setup, and then I'll be fine.
Box in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Box now.
Okay.
Right.
Good night. Thanks for tonight.
Yeah, I'm off. Thanks,
I'm
Pete.
okay.
Thanks, everybody. Good night. See you all later, doing whenever.
We'll give you a shot tomorrow.
It's a good time.
Bye.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Okay. I suppose. Okay, I'm going to take a break here. I don't know if we're going to do some Zolder later or not. Need to grab some food and get something for my throat's still pretty scratchy from this week. So, go wrap it up. for a moment here.